Hello, and welcome to the Laney Photo Department's video on the tripod. The tripod's something new in the program. We've always had them at Laney, but we've never given instruction on it. And I thought that this was a good opportunity at Oakland High to introduce you to the tripod. It's a really nice piece of gear to have. The tripod holds the camera. It has 3 legs. It won't fall over. That's what they're designed for. One of the functions of the tripod is to hold the camera still. And that means you can do long exposures. Half second, full second, 2 seconds, 20 seconds, 3 days, for all I know. But the camera holds still so you can do really long exposures. The other thing that it allows you to do is it allows you to keep the camera in a position, and you can do repeated shots of the same thing. For example, you like the position you have of your object, you want to hold it there, you take a photo of it, you look at it, you think about it, and you can go back to the camera. It's still in the same position, and you can change your preset for your color, or you can change your aperture for your depth of field, or you can make a little change in the lighting, move your fill card in a little bit more, something like that, but it stays in the same position. It's also good for bracketing. When we bracket using presets, auto white balance, sun white balance, shade white balance. If the object in the frame is holding still, and you go from frame to frame to frame, all you see is the changes in color. So you're not distracted by that. So it's great for showing your comparisons. I have the camera already mounted on here, but I'm going to back away for just a minute. I'm going to take it off. There's a knob right here, and I grab the camera hard, turn the knob, and take the camera away, setting it aside carefully so I don't step on it. I've done that, okay? Anyhow, so there's a couple basic movements for this, and there are a couple basic properties. Let's start with the tripod itself. Okay? The tripod is made up of legs, which have extensions, and a center column, which also extends. Okay? Let's talk about the legs first. This is a 3-section leg. There are 4 section, 5 section, 6 section, 2 section. This is 3. It's the most common. The legs are adjusted by opening these flip locks. And remember, just as it stands, we always use the heaviest part, not the lightest part when we start. So we flip that lock open. Yeah. Flip that lock back down, and it's nice and sturdy. Check this out. So you got your your tripod all set up, and you just open that lock, let that leg fall down, open that lock, let that leg fall down, go back around, close your flip locks, and you're good to go. That's kind of a slick little move. It just saves time. And you'll be surprised that your shoots can take a lot of time, but the more time you spend on a set that you've done before, the quicker it goes up and the quicker it comes down. The more time you spend working your tripod, the quicker it goes up, the quicker it comes down. And all of a sudden, you're not being distracted by that. It's incidental. So the next thing I'm going to show you, I'll show you the other extension in a little bit, but the next thing I'm going to show you is the center column. And the center column is controlled by this knob. Okay? Open that knob, slide it down, slide it up, but you've got to tighten it down, and you tighten it down firmly. And just like every other mechanical thing you're going to do, you're going to learn what that means. If you put your camera up here and then this column is sliding down, that's not tight enough, right? if you're turning this so hard that your fingers are turning red, too tight. You'll figure it out, okay? So I'm going to bring this back down and show you a couple of the movements. This is a 2-way head. And basically, this knob, open this knob, you can rotate things around. Okay? The handle is also threaded, and if I open that up, I can go up and down. Okay, I'm going to tighten these down firmly. I'm going to double check my flip locks, make sure they're closed, and I'm going to mount this camera. Take a good grip. You will notice that there's a thread here, and you will notice that there's a thread right there. Okay, so that's the male, and you take that and you put it into this thread, holding good. You got to hold your camera well. Put that hole over the thread. Start turning this knob. It threads up into the camera, and you do it firmly. Now, this thread pulls the camera down onto the platen, which is the flat thing. And there's a piece of rubber in there, so it has nice grip. And you do it till it's nice and snug. Now, I want to show you something, okay? There's a test that I teach all my students, is you grab the camera and do this, okay? And if you're mounted properly, it's going to stay on. It's not going to spin or anything like that, okay? I have mismounted cameras. A very expensive Hasselblad, $2,000 worth of Hasselblad. And it dropped, it just fell, and it was kind of, you know, that slow motion drop. And I reached over with my left foot, and I caught it with my left foot about 6 inches above the ground, and it rested on my foot on the ground. It was just luck. Don't do that, okay? So anyhow, so now that this is on, these movements, all of a sudden, they have a little bit different value. They make a little bit more sense. I can go over here, I can go over here, I can go over here, and I like that angle. I'm tightening my knob a bit. These don't have to be quite so tight, and then the handle spins, and I go up and down, and so I can kind of go just about anywhere I want and find a place that I like and tighten it down. We're good to go. Okay? Now, I know there's a column here, and it's tempting, very, very tempting, to just get your altitude by using the column. Open up the column, tighten it down. I get that. But you can see it's, you know, all this leverage on these 3 legs, not good. So I'm going to just move this back down, and I'm going to open up the bottom legs. Now, remember the slick technique. Close these legs up. Remember the flip locks? Well, we have the same thing on the bottom. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. And we close all of our flip locks. Make sure that they're closed. Open up these legs. Then all of a sudden, you're at the same height, but it's a whole lot more sturdy and more steady. The idea that you might kick a leg and knock it over is way reduced. It happens, okay? I just want you to know that. You're going to kick this. You're going to work the knock, you're going to kick it, and you go, doggone it, or some other expletive. But at least you're in a position where you have some stability, okay? I'm going to move this back in the set so you can see how high this can go. This is roughly, 55 inches in height. Yours are just a tiny bit taller than that. Right? That's your maximum extension. And when this is up here, you can see, I don't know if you can see because you're so far away, but you can see this thing wiggling back and forth. So if you're going to shoot like this, and you're going to do a long exposure, you would be very, very careful about firing the shutter, walking away and not touching the camera, and let it do its work. Okay. Slide this back down. Now, check it out. Closing the legs. Okay. Again, open the flip locks, press it down, close the flip locks, and now it's shorter. Open these flip locks, slide it down, close the flip locks. Now it's shorter. All right. Now while you have good stability, you might take this off before you start closing all your legs, but leave the camera in a position where it's nice and steady, the tripod's holding it well. Open this up, put the camera aside, you're good to go. I hope you enjoy this tripod. I think you'll learn a lot about photography by using a tripod. I hope you have fun with it. Thank you for your attention.